All right, so just a little bit of background about the topic that I chose. I wanted to research the effects of umbilical cord milking versus delayed cord clamping in the term neonate. And I was inspired to do this by Karen Strange after attending one of her workshops where she mentioned the benefits of umbilical cord milking. Um, so the research that I would present to a client, I would talk about what I discovered in the research. So um, in the research studies conducted, there were a lot of benefits with umbilical cord milking, specifically in regards to hemoglobin, serum ferritin levels, um, blood pressure, volume expansion, things like that were actually increased in the babies that received umbilical cord milking. And they also had no increased risks of polycythemia or hyperbilirubinemia that required treatment. One of the benefits with the umbilical cord milking that has been posited is the transfer of the progenitor cells, which are also like a type of stem cell. So the umbilical cord milking does have a role. A lot of preterm neonates actually experience the umbilical cord milking versus the delayed cord clamping. Now, one issue that I did run into with these studies is that the comparison was in regards to delayed cord clamping of up to 30 to 45 seconds. So in our practice, we typically will allow the cord to stop pulsing and allow the baby to have the first feed so that it knows that there is that external source of nutrition before that only source of nutrition through the umbilical cord is clamped and cut. So considering that the data is analyzing umbilical cord milking and delayed cord clamping of only 30 to 45 seconds, it's hard to actually compare if the interventions are going to have the same effect in our out-of-hospital population where the baby is receiving all of the blood volume, the cord has stopped pulsing, and that transfusion of the blood is allowed to happen versus kind of rushing the process with the umbilical cord milking. So the current best evidence is to allow the baby to pretty much just receive that late clamping, anywhere from 3 minutes to the cessation of pulsation. And like I said, these babies don't experience increased risks of polycythemia or hyperbilirubinemia. They actually have less anemia at 2 months postpartum and increased durations of breastfeeding compared to babies that don't receive it. So based on the research that we have, there's just not enough studies that have been conducted, especially in the out-of-hospital setting, to compare the two outcomes. So delayed cord clamping is definitely going to be our standard of care. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to dig further into this topic. Umbilical cord milking is not a harmful intervention. There's just not enough research out there to say this is better than delayed cord clamping. So until more research is done, this is just our standard of care. So I hope I answered your questions. And yeah, we can go from here.